First of all, let's get this out of the way. What does the Rocky Horror Show have in common with a theatre festival whose mainstay is William Shakespeare? The answer? Well, cross-dressing and sexual innuendo, of course. What fun the bard might have had playing Frankenfurter, the transvestite from transsexual Transylvania, is a part to, quite literally, die for.
It's just a jump to the left, and then a step to the right. With your hands on your hips, you bring your knees in tight, but it's a pounding thrust that really drives me to say, let's do the time warp again. Let's do the time warp again.
Coming as the grand finale to the 2018 season's first week of openings, Donna Fiore's realization of both Richard O'Brien's groundbreaking play, 1973, and portions of the 1975 film, the director-choreographer's productions became the bookends of a week that was meant to start with gender-bending Prospero, Martha Henry, in Shakespeare's The Tempest. Had everything gone to plan, foiled by a hoax of a bomb threat, artistic director Anthony Simolino's vision of interlinked programming would have come to an extraordinary full circle. And for once, the extra loud decibel count was an abject pleasure, invigorating the cast and the crowd as the well-known scenes played out, instilling the Avon Theatre with a sense of oneness and community that is as rare as governments getting along, allies or not, and as welcome as needed rain in this challenging week. Spreading the unrepentant theme of pleasure ahead of all else more widely would make the world a much better place, far better than getting turned on by ugly bullying, false superiority, and power-mongering. Seen just 6 hours after the much darker To Kill a Mockingbird, this invigorating musical with copious amounts of bare skin flashing across the stage was a welcome dose of what humanity does best, if allowed. Celebrate ourselves without shame or fear. Watching the healthy, fit bodies, admirably led by the phantoms, was a visual treat with every gyration and turn. Following Janet, Jennifer Ryder Shaw, and fiancé Brad, Sarah Roberts, discovered their intersexuality was a delightful cautionary tale for so many others who never dabble before taking the wrong vows. Cheering, booing, and tossing in unexpected lines at the narrator, Steve Ross, superb in every appearance, drew the audience into the action. Many of the cutting asides came from veterans, lots of those dressed as their favorite character of previous performances. The rest were carefully scripted to keep the party going. The aliens were well represented by Robert Marcus, soaring to new heights in the laser scene as Riff Raff, Erica Peck's Magenta, and most especially Kimberly Ann Trung as Columbia. The FU moment was unforgettable. Barely dressed in a skimpy, glittering brief, George Chris's Rocky was a curly blonde homage to the equally muscled Peter Hinwood in the film. In both cases, the wonderfully sculpted physiques most assuredly delighted patrons of all persuasions and caused not a few of those to pray for a wardrobe malfunction. As the star of the show, Dan Chameroy delved deep into his inner drag, and his initiations of both Janet and Brad into the other side of sex was a blanket comedy of the highest order. Those familiar with this cult of sensuality at all costs, and newcomers just kicking the tires of frowned-upon activities, must grab a boa and discover, perhaps, more than could ever have been imagined. The other learning, sadly, from this show which tells it like it could be, is that horror is more prevalent in the real world than in the imaginations of those who choose to fight back, one garter at a time. 5 stars for this.